So Ark Ascended is finally here, and I've got the top 10 best base locations and caves for you guys today in this one. So make sure you smash that like. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts on Ark Ascended is right now. Anyways, the meta has changed massively because there's no cryopods. You can't level movement on your character, so you literally have to walk or use a raft to get your tames across the map. So it's going to be very interesting. These caves and locations, in my opinion, are going to be the new meta to go to. So make sure you watch till the end, and I hope you enjoy the video. So, in my opinion, this is one of the most forgotten about spots in the game, and I'd personally call this a Rathole, probably one of the only ones on this map. And it's obviously in the snow, so the snow's gonna actually be killing you whilst people are trying to raid this, unless you've got loads of fortitude, which you've got the levels for it now, because there's no movement speed. So it's actually a crouch, I believe so. Let me just double check that once again. It is a crouch, definitely. So maybe one of the only crouches on this map, and there's not a lot of room in here for a lot of turrets, but I don't know, actually there is a little bit of room. You can probably have like 5-6 heavies, which will probably be enough, honestly, especially because the movement, but there's a decent amount of room. I want to say it'd be really OP, but I don't think it will be amazing because obviously you'll hit obstructions pretty quickly. Let's just get in the back here. Let me just go ghost real quick. Right, there we go. We're getting in the back here. Actually, there's that. Oh my god, I didn't realize there was this much space in here. I thought, oh, and there's an artifact, so you control the artifact if you do build in here, which is actually going to be a huge thing, because everyone's going to be fighting for the artifacts, and if you blocked off a cave with the artifact, people need to either buy it off you or raid you. So this is going to be a very important location. So we've got Caro Cave obviously on this map still, and what makes it even better is it's actually on an island, so like you have to transport all your tames with rafts if you want to raid something like this. And obviously the downside is there is 6x outside, but C4 has been nerfed as it is, so C6x like caves and that are still going to be decent. It's not just one C4 or one rocket anymore, so that makes a bit of a difference to the meta and playstyle, I guess. So we're coming down to the main section of the cave. There's a lot of different factors that you have to take in now. I feel like this is a lot wider than what it normally was, and they've made it a bit more colourful with all the plants on the side and that, but that definitely don't make a difference to your defence. I feel like this section's a bit bigger, maybe. This definitely isn't. It's sort of basically the same water part. You've got a massive amount of room in here for anything that you really need. It's going to be very difficult to build because there's no cliff plats. That's the only downside, I would say. Yeah, that is actually going to be the difficult part. So you're going to have to get foundation support if that's how the building system still works. I'm really not too sure. I would definitely have to test that out soon. They might change that. But yeah, Caro Cave is on this list obviously because it's a decent cave. So probably one of the most known locations on island is Ice Cave, and obviously it's on Ark Ascended, so let's jump straight into it. Not much has changed, but probably the most well-known cave on island is Ice Cave, and obviously it's on Ark Ascended here. So as you can see, we're going through the entrance. Not much has changed at the front entrance, but the main crouch part, well, there's not actually a crouch yet anymore, as you're going to see in a second. Obviously this, you don't really put too many turrets here, but with the movement speed thing, it could actually be kind of broken to have a few turrets down here. But let's actually get into the main choke on Survival Evolved. Now we're on Ascended, so it's still got some sort of choke, but it's obviously not crouch. It's still going to be very broken, this cave, don't get me wrong. Any cave in this game now is going to be good because you can't chuck cryopods out. I don't really need to show you all in the back, and that is, I think, the same. So yeah, it's got a lot of room in here, a lot of space to breed your dinos and have a nice little crafting station. And I've just hit a massive lag spike there. So this is going to sound pretty stupid to some of you guys, but some of you guys might actually understand. I'm going to put a raft on this list just because it's so mobile and you can literally bring it anywhere with you. There's so much water on this map, you just can't get really at the center of the map. But if you're just looking to play a bit of solo, maybe even duo, a raft is the perfect location for you guys. And I do believe these are moving faster than what they did move on ARK Survival Evolved. So that is great, and it's obviously a lot less laggy out here because you don't have to render as much stuff. I'm getting like 40 FPS. Back there I was getting like 20, and I haven't even got a bad PC. Moving on to another cave now, and this is actually very easy to access and get to, especially if you've got like a raft base. You can have your main base in here and then have like stashes of loot in the raft and also get around with it. So it's near Herbivore Island, and I will show you right on the map now. Pretty easy to find, and the only problem on ARK Survival Evolved, this had 6x so far out the cave, so I'm just going to double check that for you guys now, and it's still the same. It's still got a very far range of 6x, but the cave itself is actually decent, I would say. Like, you can't really fit anything through that. Maybe a carbo potentially, but definitely not a stego or a track. And especially with the movement speed nerf, it's very hard to run turrets. It's going to be. You've got a bit of lava in here, and you can have a nice wall in here. Like, it's actually going to be a very solid cave in my opinion. The walkways are also very thin, so especially without cryopods, it's going to be very hard to do anything. I'm really not too sure how certain caves you're going to raid. But yeah, we're just going to go through it and just show you if any more change. It really hasn't changed much. It's just the textures that have changed. Again, this part's going to be very difficult because how you're going to walk a dino across that is pretty much impossible. So if you do build a nice sort of wall in here, I don't know if building has changed and like snap points and that. It's going to be pretty decent. Like, the room in here is also amazing, so I would actually probably say this is going to be one of the better caves on this map, definitely. I personally have never built on it on ARK Survival Evolved, but the room just goes on, and obviously there's an artifact in here, so you control that also. So yeah, that is good. Right, here we go. We've got another cave for you guys, and this is going to be very decent just because where it is on the map, and you've literally got resources all around you. You've got your metal up there, you've got your obsidian, you've got your crystal and everything like that. As far as the 6x goes, I'm not too sure if it's outside of the cave, but I'm going to check now for you guys. It is, yes, sadly it is. But inside of the cave, it's a pretty slim hallway. You're not going to get a stego, maybe a trike you'll get down here. Where's the actual choke point? I think it's left from what I can remember off the top of my head. You've got an explorer note in here, which is actually quite nice. Oh, the explorer notes are a bit different. I need that AI or whatever that is to stop speaking now. But yeah, you've got a lot of room in here, I would say, and the wall, you can have a decent wall, I guess. It's gonna be okay. I definitely don't think this is gonna be a great cave to build in, but I guess you gotta take what you're given, and all the better caves are definitely going to be taken. I don't actually know where I'm going in this cave. Island is definitely not my strong point. So now we're on top of the biggest volcano on this map, and I was thinking this would be an amazing location to either put a starter base to raid a better cave, or have your main base. It's going to be very difficult to raid on the map. Let me just get the coords for you guys. 31 latitude, 83 longitude, and there's a lot of positives about this location. You've literally got so much metal, loads of resources down below. You've even got Caro spawns, you've got giga spawns there, and if you put a few turrets on this, you're going to be very well defended because obviously there's no cryopods. I mean, you might be able to Quetzal raid it, but there's not many people going to be getting Quetzals that early on. So yeah, overall a very decent location here. So as we all know, Blue Orb has always been a nice location to start, and it's even going to be stronger on ARK Ascended because you literally can't get cryopods. So yeah, you've got an obelisk literally next to you, and you can upload your tames, download them where you need them, or just keep them safe in your upload. You've got a nice little ledge up here, which I would personally put your base here because it's elevated, and people can't just walk straight up to your base, strap a C4. Obviously it's not 6x here, so that's another big plus to this. You've got a few nice pillars around, so you can pick one of these, I would say, but around the blue orb area, definitely a nice location. So the meta is obviously going to change on Ark Ascended, and these icebergs are going to be very broken, especially if you can slap a base on top of it where people have to either build up or Quetzal raid it or something like that. Obviously there's no cryopods, so you have to transport your tames. If you're, for example, built on Caro Cave, you have to drive a raft all the way down here. Or if you're at that stage where you got a transmitter, then maybe do that. But that's going to take a while. So you'll definitely be safe on any of these icebergs, honestly. These used to be the OG spots to build on back in the day. I remember everyone was fighting for these. And I feel like it's going to be the same. Probably this one's going to be one of the better ones in my opinion. Just because it's so far out. And I can guarantee you there's definitely going to be people built on like every one of these icebergs. Even the backside of this one's quite nice. But yeah, this is why icebergs are on my list. So I've got another cave for you guys now. I'm sorry if there's names to these or names from ARK Survival Evolved. I've just forgot all of them, but I've actually rated this on Survival Evolved. But the corals are 85 latitude, 54 longitude, and sadly it is 6x outside the cave, and quite a lot of 6x. I don't know if on top it is, because you could put a nice tower here maybe, but let's double check. Is there 6x? There is 6x up here too. So moving on inside of the cave, we've got a nice little entrance here, you could say. You've got to think about the positives, and not many tames are fitting through this. I feel like you're going to get a trike for it though. Maybe. You'd have to test it out before building in here. But coming down, you can get a nice little wall in here. Nothing too fat, I wouldn't say, but I don't think the meta is going to be how it used to be on Ark. Definitely can get a trike through this part of it. Definitely can get a trike through this bit. That's what you got to be thinking when you are building in these locations. And then you got a nice opening for another wall here. A lot of room. I don't know where you actually put your base in this one, but this does look like the bigger opening part. You've even got a bit of water here. I don't think you got... you could breed like megalodons and that in here actually. That could be nice. Underwater tames are actually going to be very useful, I think. But yeah, this is another cave that's decent, and definitely one to put on your list if you're looking for a location to claim. I really do hope you found the video useful and found a few decent locations out of it. And if you haven't made this far into the video, put Acer hype in the comments and know you haven't made this far, which honestly means more than anything. Anyway guys, have an amazing rest of the day or night wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you guys in the next one. The video will be very soon.